George, tell us about where you keep getting these ideas. I mean, that you live with in your head. I mean, how do you?
Well, the ideas come from life. I mean, I've made, this is the fifth zombie film that I've made.
Yeah.
And the ideas all come from what I see happening out in the world, you know, and that's really what my focus is.
Yeah.
You could throw zombies on anything. I mean, if they nuke Philadelphia next week, I could throw some zombies in there and probably make a movie deal.
Yeah. There are already a lot of zombies in Philadelphia.
Yeah, I guess so. Pittsburgh too, which is where I lived for a number of years. But it's not, I don't know, not particularly innovative. I guess, I don't know, maybe I could call myself facetiously the Michael Moore of horror, but my films are more about, they're more socio-political satires than they are horror films.
Well, in that vein, for people who haven't seen your movie, can you describe what Diary of the Dead is about?
Diary of the Dead, I made four zombie films prior to this, and they all sort of advanced in time, and the zombies were evolving, and the stuff was just getting too big. It was getting close to Thunderdome. And I started as an independent, working with friends, made a little, very small film in Pittsburgh, and it became Night of the Living Dead. And I just sort of wanted to go back to that, and I had this idea that involved this blogosphere that we live in and emerging media and the dangers of that. And I thought, well, I can go back to the very first night when the dead started to walk and sort of start a new pathway. And that's what the idea was. That's where it came from. It's about film students that are out shooting a school project on the night when the dead begin coming back to life. And it's all subjective camera, and they document it over the first 3 nights.
Well, can you talk about how some of that, what you were talking about, these new media, this new media world effect has changed
it's a bit bothersome. I mean, anybody can throw a blog up there and get 3 million followers. If Hitler was around, he
Tell
wouldn't
me
have,
about
it. He wouldn't have to go out in the town square. Just if you're halfway charismatic and have something to say, you'll all of a sudden have millions of followers, and I find that a bit disconcerting. It's bad enough I have to listen to Arianna Huffington. Now I have to listen to Tony DeSimone from Detroit. So
let's talk to the actors here. How did this script land in your lap? What did you think of it? Why did you shoot?
Yeah, no, I mean, just like any other sort of project that gets released in the city, you end up going out and auditioning for. But George and I had worked together on Land of the Dead, so we kind of had a history to be able to work together. And it was a pretty easy choice to go ahead and do this.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, same. I mean, it was just something that my agent asked me if I was interested, and I was like, "Are you kidding me?" Of course. I was a fan of George's, so.
Describe your role.
I played Deborah. We're all a group of film students. My boyfriend, Jason Creed, in the film is obsessed with documenting the zombies. We're obsessed with surviving. And so my issue is that I don't understand why my boyfriend is so obsessed with filming everything. And I'm trying to get home.
Yeah. Did George kind of tell you how this new zombie film fits into, as you say, the socioeconomic change?
Yeah, but we didn't sit there talking about ideas, and like we were making the film in 20 days, so we were busy doing that, but it was all apparent and relevant and there, and I narrate the film, so we had a little bit more time to sort of chat about ideas then, and he asked for my ideas and things like that. So later we talked about it. While we were making the film, we were too busy.
Right. So how did George work with you? What was your relationship like in actor to director?
We had time to kind of sit down and talk about what we were going to do when we started the film beforehand, but George is very hands-off. He casts his projects well, and it kind of lets us have free reign, and it makes things a lot easier. And really, we're all just a big family when we get there. Yeah. Everybody's just happy to be working on a film with him, and he's never yelling at anybody, or he's such an easygoing guy. So it was an easy thing to do.
So how many more of these crazy things do you have to do today?
I don't know. I mean, I'll keep doing them, maybe, I don't know. I may come back after I'm dead and do one.
We were
the definitive one.
We were talking like kind of what a crazy place Sundance is to try to do all of this media over and over.
Oh,
and
this, you mean that, yes. I mean, I did, well, first of all, I've always been under the radar. I mean, I made all my films in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I moved 3.5 years ago to Toronto, and I've made my last 3 films there. So I love the community. The filmmaking community there is really dedicated, wonderful. I've always sort of been this under the radar kind of guy, and I'd rather stay home. You know, make the movie, send it out, let me know how it turns out. I'm not a ballyhoo kind of guy.
Well, thank you all for coming in.
Thank you very much.
It's good to have you.
Thanks a lot. Appreciate it.